They did not expect it to happen on a Tuesday. Wars usually began with gunfire or speeches, or the sudden movement of troops at dawn. But this one began with silence thick, deliberate silence stretching from the Sahara to the Cape, from the Atlantic coast to the Horn. At exactly 6 a.m., every foreign command center across the continent went dark. No radio signals, no satellite links. No informants answering calls. Panic followed, confusion, then disbelief. Because Africa, long divided by borders drawn with careless hands, had moved as one body. For decades, they had said it was impossible. Too many languages, too many tribes, too much history, too many scars. They were wrong. What they never understood was that beneath the differences ran a shared memory of chains and whips, of stolen land and renamed rivers, of resources taken while children starved. Memory is a quiet thing. It waits, it learns patience, and on that day it spoke. In the north, desert fighters disabled armored convoys using tactics older than the maps that named their land. In the west, coastal nations sealed ports overnight, grounding ships heavy with stolen minerals. In the east, cyber units trained in secret, funded by farmers and traders, hijacked surveillance systems and turned them blind. In the south, rail lines stopped moving. Not by explosions, but by hands. Thousands of hands. Workers simply stepped away. No single leader claimed command. That was the genius of it. There was no head to cut off. Foreign generals demanded explanations from their embassies. What did they want? They asked. The answer came not as a threat, but as a broadcast translated into every major African language, and many foreign ones too, greater than "We want what was taken. We want the right to decide our future. We want you to leave." No insults. No rage, just fact. The world's media scrambled to name it. A coup? A rebellion? A coordinated terrorist act. But none of the words fit. Because there was no chaos. Hospitals were untouched. Civilians unharmed. Borders guarded, not crossed. African soldiers protected African towns. Even prisoners of war were fed. It was not revenge. It was reclamation. By nightfall, something strange happened. Foreign troops trained to dominate found themselves surrounded not by armies, but by communities. Elders stood at checkpoints. Women blocked supply routes with singing. Children held up signs written in chalk. Asterisk, asterisk. This land remembers you. Some soldiers laid down their weapons. Others cried. They had never been trained for this kind of war. 3 weeks later, emergency summits were held across oceans. Agreements were signed in a hurry. Bases dismantled. Contracts rewritten. Troops withdrew, not defeated, but outmatched by unity they could not fracture. And Africa did not celebrate with parades. It planted trees where bases once stood. It rebuilt schools where mines had been. It renamed streets with the names they had always carried before erasure. Years later, historians would argue about how it happened. They would analyze strategies in economics, alliances, and logistics, but the elders told it differently. They said Africa had always been one body, only asleep. And on that Tuesday morning, it finally woke up.